Welcome back to the Auto Obscure Garage. Chadwick with you again for another installment of the Auto Experience series, our in-depth reviews featuring a battery of objective and subjective tests to show you what it's like to live with one of these cars, to drive one of these cars, and to experience one of these cars. Now, if you're a truly discerning person and you say, man, I'm not in a sports car, let's calm down. I could not live with a Prius. I like the idea the Toyota Prius brings to the table with the fuel economy and everything, but I just can't live with it. This might be the car for you guys. This is a 2015 Lexus CT200h. Now, this is my second example of this car. Red flag right there. I've owned two of them, so you know which way I'm going to go when I say it's a good car or not. But that was 6 years ago I reviewed that car. It's 2025, nearing the end of 2025. Has my opinion changed? It's now a 10-year-old car, this example, and some of the older ones obviously older than that, over a decade. Are they still a viable daily option? I mean, I don't want to say yes right off the rip, but let's be honest. Lexus CT200h, you are getting, over the Prius, way better looks. This is a gorgeous car, still looks modern, still looks beautiful. Interior, excellent quality materials, good space. Quality materials, let's talk about that. It is very nice looking in here, very modern, very comfortable for the lowest price Lexus car they had for sale during this time period. So big ups there. It's a lot of value. It's a lot of value. Fuel economy. I'm getting over 42 miles per gallon mixed, which is exactly what they said you'd get from the factory. That was 180 something thousand miles ago. Do I have a fear of the hybrid battery going? No. In the Prius models, they have guys hitting 300K. Good battery life. Just had mine tested. Still excellent. Perfect health. Not a fear. One fear I didn't mention on my old review though, the head gasket issue. Now these cars do experience head gasket failure. Some speculation is EGR system. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories on this channel, more than we already do, right? But to be honest, it plagues these cars between 120, 180,000 miles. The head gasket will fail. And that's going to cause coolant to leak onto the pistons. You'll have a really rough start. That's how you know. If your car does that with a violent vibration when you start it, do not drive. Take that vehicle in or do it yourself. Replace that head gasket, fix the EGR system, more than likely that's gunked up, and get that taken care of, or you can cause severe engine damage. Now, many cars in history would be okay compared to a car that loses a head gasket at 150,000 miles on average. Looking at you, naturally aspirated Subaru. Wouldn't you love to get that lifespan? Anyway, but that's considered the Achilles heel of this car. It's not that bad. Now, if you're looking at purchasing one of these vehicles, negotiate that. When you're looking at that, if that service hasn't been done, expect to do it. So something to be aware of there. Everything else, man, this thing's just awesome. Like I said, this is a high mileage example. It still looks good, still drives fantastically, good fuel economy. I maintain the crap out of it. That helps, right? So I do all that kind of fun stuff. There's a bunch of random maintenance stuff on the channel you can check out too if you guys want to get one of these cars. But as far as a daily goes, God, I love this thing. Again, after a long day at work, you have a grindy commute, you get in this thing. You don't take your key out of your pocket. It's keyless entry. You sit down, the headlights will come on for you. You can have your Bluetooth set to your favorite podcast to chill out, relax on the drive home. It's a good time for the price point, and that's why I want to talk about the market. I think as far as dailies are concerned, it's a good price, guys. You can get these for in the low sevens for rough. I mean, absolutely rough. Might not want that as your daily. Maybe you do. Maybe you live dangerously. The CT200h is the car for you. I don't know if that ever has been said before. But average price, probably around 10 for a good driver, decent mileage, good maintenance record, fair condition, like better than fair condition cosmetically. And it goes up 15 to 20K. And they're everywhere. They made quite a few of these. They stopped making them, I think, in 2019. Shame on you, Lexus. Its replacement, the UX, nowhere is attractive. I'm just going to leave it like that. That's as nice as I can be right now. But, you know, CT200, good fuel economy, good reliability, easy to work on. Parts are cheap, Toyota. what else do you need in your daily, guys? It's small. You can fit adults back there if you have to, but it's a hatchback, so you can haul some stuff. Hybrid battery eats up a little trunk space, but whatever. You can park it almost anywhere because it's diminutive size. I don't want to say it. I called it the perfect commute weapon before, and I stand by it. This, in 2025, shop around, do your research, get the right one. I think it's a hell of a daily. But let's do some tests. We're going to take it through our objective test the acceleration, all that kind of fun stuff, and let's see how slow this hybrid is. But let's shake it down. Why not? These are freaking great cars, and the handling dynamics are far better than you'd think. So, anyway, what a lovely car. It's not sporty, but I love driving these things. Yeah, it's one of my top 10 cars of all time, which is crazy coming from a guy like me, but guys, the Lexus CT200h is that good, and it's worth a look if you're looking for a reliable, fuel economy minded daily. On to the objective tests. We've got the Lexus CT200h up on the scales. Let's get that curb weight and front and rear balance. Weighing in at 3,064 pounds, this CT200h was lighter than the last one. That was due in part to two factors. First off, no fuel in the car. The fuel light's on. That reduced the weight quite a bit. And this is a non-premium model, so we don't have the backup camera or the seat heaters. So a little weight savings there. At that weight, the CT200h ranks amongst some very interesting vehicles. I mean, just take in this list, guys. Cool stuff for sure. But you can see for a hybrid, it's a fairly low curb weight vehicle. The front and rear weight balance of the CT200h is no surprise, being front engine and front wheel drive, with nearly 60% of the weight over the front. Those hybrid batteries in the rear do balance it out a bit, as I believe this would be a closer to 70-30 vehicle without them. As we gaze upon these incredibly fast 0 to 60 times presented right now, seriously though, the CT200h did beat out my old one, which is always cool to see, but again, this is not a fast accelerating vehicle. The Lexus CT200h is not going to set any lap records at your local track, nor will it carve a canyon with its razor-sharp handling dynamics. However, it's not quite horrible either. The hybrid batteries add some heft to the vehicle, but the weight is low and in the rear, balancing out the car's natural front-wheel drive front-engine weight disparity. This allows the CT a rather neutral handling quality that makes it slightly enjoyable when pushed. But this is not the intended use case for the CT200h. It's here for the daily commute grind, and this is where it truly shines. Visibility is quite good, the aforementioned handling is crisp enough, and acceleration, well, it happens eventually. And then you factor in the amazing fuel economy, of which I'm still averaging over 43 miles per gallon, mixed, driving. And that's at 180,000 miles. This all combines to form a base for one of the best dailies out there. Hatchbacks are cool, and Lexus knocked it out of the park with the CT's design. 2014 models and newer feature the Lexus Hourglass grille, which in some cases is garish, but here it's subtle and clean and allows this CT to pose as a much more modern Lexus product. The pearl white never hurts either, as I favor this color for its proven track record of ignoring the sun's hazardous paint-killing rays. The Lexus CT200h is still a good-looking vehicle and is by far the way to take your Prius power plant without looking like, well, a Prius. The cheapest Lexus product during this run, the CT200H has never felt cheap inside. The caramel Nulux surfaces are still my favorite color option, and the dash layout still looks modern. And without the almost all have yellowed pop-up nav screen in this model, it'll remain timeless. You still get all the modern amenities including auto headlights, keyless entry, and push-button start, which makes this car feel fantastically modern. The steering wheel still looks way sportier than it has any right to. It also feels amazing in the hand with its real leather covering. Seats are supportive and cater to long distance driving comfort. It feels way nicer in here than it should at this price point, especially on the used car market. Check the box for good old reliable Prius power. Toyota's 1.8-liter four-cylinder outputs an acceptable 134 horsepower and 142 pound-feet of torque in this application. But it really delivers in fuel economy numbers. Rated from the factory at 43 miles per gallon city and 40 highway, those figures are fantastic, and I'm happy to report I'm still beating them today with 180,000 miles on the clock. The head gasket tends to fail on these cars between 120,000 and 180,000 miles like we talked about earlier. This is really the only issue. There could be far worse things. This is just something baked into the equation. The hybrid power plant has regularly been seen to surpass over 300,000 miles. And that's the big takeaway here. Hybrid cars that have failing hybrid battery packs tend to be way more expensive to fix than just doing a head gasket. So in this case, I'll take it. Slow, reliable, and great fuel economy is what you're gonna get with the CT200H power plant. The eCVT gearbox pairs wonderfully with the hybrid power plant. The shifter is still my favorite design. Nice smooth shifter movement to put it in drive and reverse, and parking with the press of a button. None of that old clunky automatic shift movement. The selectable drive modes are nice, and sport really does improve acceleration, but don't expect to be thrown back in your seat. The magically appearing tachometer and ambient lighting going from blue to red is still a killer feature. Over a decade old with some of the early models, the Lexus CT200H is still a car you should be targeting in your quest to finding the best daily driver. Sure, you have the head gasket issue, which is going to rear its ugly little head between 120 and 180,000 miles. It's not a deal breaker, but should be factored into the equation. What do you get then with your purchase of a CT200H in the year 2025? You get a car that still looks modern from a design standpoint. You get wonderful fuel economy, low insurance, and best of all, you get low maintenance costs with high reliability. At the current market price on the Lexus CT200H, you would be hard pressed to find a better value daily driver out there. Give the Lexus CT200H a look if you're in the market for a reliable and fuel economy minded daily driver.